Good day, and welcome to What's Happening MoCo, a podcast from your award-winning government television station, County Cable Montgomery. Now, here's your host, Derek Kinney.
Good day. Welcome to What's Happening MoCo. We are back. We are at MACo, and we've been upgraded. We have the council president, Evan Glass, here in Ocean City, Maryland. And how's the conference been so far for you, council president?
Well, I'm glad you're here. And this is a wonderful conference. It is great to be with other leaders throughout Maryland and to talk about issues that are of importance to us all, to network and also to learn. There are a number of seminars and workshops and vendors that are here talking about innovative programs and policies. Wow. And so for me, the benefit is seeing colleagues from around the state, seeing colleagues from the county council in Montgomery County, but also learning about what else is happening in our beautiful state.
What are some of the issues that you found to be consistent across the board as you're looking at things you may be concerned about, or we may be concerned about Montgomery County, Maryland, but may be of concern in other counties as well?
I'd say one of the biggest undercurrents that is being talked about here at the conference is transportation. Right now, the governor has assembled a task force of about 2 to 3 dozen people that are going to try to develop a funding strategy to help support all the transportation projects we need across the state of Maryland. And that's public transportation, that's physical infrastructure, and that is something that every corner of Maryland, all 24 jurisdictions, needs and wants. And so the Secretary of Transportation and his entire team are fanning out of this conference, meeting with everybody. And I'm talking with colleagues across the state about what they need. And so there's real work being done.
Wow.
And that stakeholders group is meeting for the first time next week. Okay. And so this is really the ground level. And in the next few weeks and months, we're going to be hearing more about the governor's proposal and where this stakeholders working group goes, so that in Montgomery County, we can increase public transportation, we can fix some of the roads that we need, and hopefully we can find the money to fix the American Legion Bridge.
Wonderful, wonderful. How many issues like transportation are there where it requires collaboration across borders, where it's not just a Montgomery County issue, it's a larger issue that incorporates other counties or other jurisdictions?
If we could go our own way, we would, but we can't, because as you noted, everything is so interjurisdictional. The metro system is a regional compact between Maryland, Virginia, and the District of Columbia. And you need all three of those jurisdictions on board to to develop a budget and to set forth a policy. The American Legion Bridge crosses quite literally the Potomac River. So you need Virginia and Maryland, and hopefully the federal government as well. And President Biden, I'm looking at you. We need your help to find funding for the American Legion Bridge. And so all of these are jurisdictional, interjurisdictional.
And just for some residents that may not be aware of what's going on with the bridge, what is the situation there, and what would you like to see done with the bridge, the American Legion Bridge?
Yeah, so there are capacity issues with the American Legion Bridge, and we need to figure out how we can rebuild it to expand the capacity and hopefully integrate some public transportation component so that we can actually build at some point in the future some light rail, heavy rail, dedicated bus line, bike trail, bike lanes, whatever it might be. That bridge needs to have a component to it. So while we might not have the funding right now to build that public transportation network across the bridge, there will be available space for it in the future. And so it's really long-term planning. The American Legion Bridge is more than 50 years old, and we need to build a new bridge to last at least a century.
All right. Now, over the last year, you've been serving as president. How has your tenure been? And what are some of the things that you are most proud of serving as council president?
It has been an honor serving as council president for the beginning of this term, where we have, quite frankly, a brand new council. We expanded from 9 members to 11. and we have a majority new council. And so there's a lot of energy. There have been a lot of questions about how we work together. And there have been a lot of policy proposals put forth. We've been very active. And while I've had my own legislative priorities, I think what I am most proud of right now is having a body, having a legislative body where we work truly for the residents of Montgomery County. We can disagree. We can have difference of opinions, but there is a collaboration and a collegiality and a spirit that I think I've helped set the tone for. And I hope that tone continues and even after I'm president. But it really is making sure that we are a model of government for other places to look at.
I think that's a good point to make when it comes to government. Sometimes there might be an impression that one may have that things are just done without discussion, without debate, without dialogue, without pushback or back and forth. How would you describe the process of recommending legislation and approving legislation to a resident that doesn't necessarily understand the process and all the thought and the effort that goes into the process?
That's a great question. And I'm a former journalist, and so I believe that sunshine is the best policy, and we need to have as much stakeholder engagement and opportunities for residents to share their thoughts, which is why I increased the time for public testimony from 2 minutes to 3 minutes. There have been a number of very big contentious policy debates we've had, and I've had multiple sessions where on average, more than 100 people have testified on a number of issues, which is twice our normal number. And so democracy is alive and well to the point that you were making. You look down on Capitol Hill, you look at other legislative bodies, and all you see are vitriol and hatred and people playing games. And we don't do that. We can disagree without being disagreeable. Right. And I think that is a model here in Montgomery County. And if anybody has any questions or thoughts, we are all accessible. They can call us. They can email us. I'm not a huge fan of Twitter or X, but people know how to contact us there as well. But we're here. We're a full-time legislative body, and people can contact and reach out to us whenever they want.
And speaking of contacting, what's the best way to contact you? What's your email or your handles or whatever ways you like residents to reach out to you?
My email is councilmember.glass@montgomerycountymd.gov. Okay. I'm on social media, but I feel that for public conversations and conveying of ideas, it is hard to do it in 140 characters. It's hard to do it in a comment section, which can easily be lost. But thoughtful discussion begins in a thoughtful email, and then we'll take it from there.
All right. So we've talked about a lot of policy and job-related things, but you're also a resident of the county. You also take public transportation. You also enjoy a lot of the resources of the county. What are some of your favorite things of the county, and what have you been doing this summer to kind of enjoy what the county offers?
Well, I love public transportation so much. I took the bus to get to this convention center this morning.
Hold on, so, you brought the bus to Ocean City?
I did. Well, not to Ocean City, in Ocean City.
In Ocean City,
yes,
okay.
I took the bus from my hotel to the convention center this morning.
Okay.
And it rides beautifully, so kudos to Ocean City.
Right.
It is efficient and it is affordable, so good on Ocean City. So I love the park system. We have a beautiful park system in Montgomery County. I love taking my dogs and going with my husband on a hike in one of the many trails that we have. I also love our theater and arts culture in Montgomery County. We have Olney Theater and Roundhouse Theater and Strathmore and Glen Echo Park and all of these hidden gems that are there to make us feel happy.
Right.
And for us to enjoy some culture and arts and entertainment. So I enjoy doing that too. And then, lastly, we got a lot of good food in Montgomery County.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I go on hikes, right? Because I got to burn off the food in one of the most culturally rich places in the country.
I may say this too often, but as a big guy, I really appreciate the food in Montgomery County. So I really do appreciate the food, the diversity of food too, because the different tastes you have, the savory, the sweet, the curry, the the steak dishes, the vegan dishes. This is all here in Montgomery County, Maryland, and there's quite a few beverages as well. So it's just a great time to be had in the county when it comes to beverages and food and all the like. Before we go, I want to make sure we invite you to come back again to take a deep dive in any issue of your choice that you may want to talk some more about, or that you're passionate about, or that you feel residents need more information. Because sometimes they'll get the byline, they'll get the first sentence, but they won't really understand what's going on. And I think this might be an opportunity for them to get more information and all the information. So let's try to do that. But before we go, you're at MACo, you're amongst your peers, you're Councilmember Lutke, and so many others from across the state. What's the feather in your cap that you're most proud of as you stand shoulder to shoulder amongst your peers?
What I appreciate most about this conference and about elected and appointed leaders in Maryland and civil servants like yourself who are helping support our government and our institutions is the way we all work collaboratively. This is a team effort. This is a team sport. And the only way we can succeed is when we work well as a legislative body, when we work well as a community of 24 different counties. And so MACo really brings us all together so that we are on one team, which is Team Maryland. And I'm looking forward to seeing the governor tomorrow and seeing all of our colleagues in the intervening time, because we all need to work together. And I love living here in Maryland. I love living in Montgomery County and wouldn't have it any other way.
All right. Teamwork. That's what's happening, MoCo. Thank you, Council President Evan Glass, for your time. Hope to talk to you again soon.
Thank you.
Thanks for listening, and please subscribe.